My Wet Socks. Today we are reviewing 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days Season 7 Episode 1. The first cast member we see is Rayne. Even though we want to pronounce her name Rayne, she is 37 years old from New Mexico and she really loves animals. And when I say she really loves animals, I'm talking to the point where we get a preview of the next episode and she's in Nigeria with her Prince Charming and his family. They're at the market to buy some chicken and she says, "The chickens are like family to me. If you buy this and kill this chicken, I'll never forgive you." Something on the lines of that. So she's the type of person that we would want to eat chicken tendies in front of. By the way, guys, when I was in Boston, I saw a tree that looked like it grew chicken tenders. I'm not even kidding. Look at this. When I was drunk looking at this at the wedding I went to, I was like, guys, come here. You got to check this out. Have you seen the chicken tender tree?
Victoria knows chickens are like family members to me. What kind of person would just kill somebody's family right in front of them? That's that chicken live.
From the way that she's acting about these chickens at the market in Nigeria, she's just about one step away from putting on that costume that Big Al had in Toy Story 2 and freeing all the chickens.
You're gonna have to go to church. You're gonna have to support
That's what you
him.
think, okay? But again, when I'm here to change somebody's life and fully wake them up, that's what I'm gonna do. He could attend church, but eventually this man will be just as woke as I am.
TLC really said, y'all like the Dirty Bird so much. Here's another unhinged American woman embarrassing us in Nigeria. But hey, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk origin story. So back in New Mexico, Rayne has 130 chickens, 5 ducks, 5 dogs, 3 cats, and a horse, but she loves the chickens the most. I think it'd be really cool to have fresh eggs like that every day. Then we learn that Rayne has 2 children. She has a son that is 8 years old and a daughter that is 16 years old. Rayne then informs the audience that she's never been married before and both of her children are from different fathers. She continues to describe both relationships as toxic, but doesn't go into detail why they're toxic, which is a red flag. It seems like one of those people that labels every guy that she's dated as toxic, but never takes a look at herself. Rayne goes on to say that she's never been with someone that made her feel like a kid, basically, staying up all night talking about anything and everything. So Rayne tells the audience that she was just trying to make friends online, not talk to smoking hot babes, and then she saw Chitty as a suggested friend, sent him a friend request, and the rest was history.
It had been probably 2 weeks until I said I love you, and then he started giggling and laughing, and then he said I love you back, and then it started as an everyday thing.
Clap it up. Typical reality TV NPC. 2 weeks after talking online and the L-bombs are dropping left and right. Y'all already know where this is going. So this is Chitty. Yes, like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. His name is Chitty and he is her Prince Charming that's going to rescue her from loneliness.
He says, "Oh baby, I am beyond blessed to have you in my life. Meeting you is going to be a dream come true, my superwoman. Good night and kiss, 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 kiss."
When New Mexico meets El Crinjo, it combines and forms this sucker right here. Oh my goodness. She is going to get played. If not by Chitty, by someone else. You can't be this free. Turns out that Rayne and Chitty have been together for 5 years, even though they've never met in real life. So a lot of people feel like it's more of a pen pal situation. Nevertheless, they have a lot of time invested talking to each other. Rayne plans to spend the rest of her life with Chitty. She's finally going over there to Nigeria to meet him in person, and she's so excited about it. This is Chitty. He's 33 years old from Lagos, Nigeria, and he is blind. Right now, he's playing daredevil soccer with some friends, and they use a special kind of ball so that when they kick it, it makes a different kind of sound so that they can use their other senses to locate where the ball is at.
It happened at the age of 17 when I had an accident.
Chitty informs the audience that he wasn't born blind. He unfortunately had 2 accidents that resulted in him being blind, and this is the craziest story I've ever heard. So the first accident was his friend was climbing a tree, he was below, an apple fell and hit him in the right eye and he became blind. His eye deteriorated over time. I'm assuming the contact detached his retina, but if you're an eye doctor, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments below. This story right here is already baffling because what are the odds that the apple falls down, hits him in the right eye, and then he goes blind in that eye? But because he couldn't see well, this is what makes the story even crazier. He falls and hits his left eye on a desk, and that results in his left eye also going blind. That is so up right away. Big respect for Chitty getting out there, being very active and brushing this off, because right away I feel like if this happened to anyone, it's very easy to fall into a negative mindset or feel like a storm cloud is constantly over you, because what are the odds that that happens twice? They went to the hospital, the doctor said nothing can be done, and then he shows us how he sees. So he tells the audience it looks like a big cloud, and he goes on to say that because he could see before, he can recall what the world looks like.
living as a visually impaired person in Nigeria is not a very easy experience.
Chitty goes on to say that Lagos is the biggest city in Africa. It's very congested. The roads are not properly built. There are no ramps. Most of the houses and public spaces have a bunch of steps. You have to go everywhere with your guide cane. The next time we see Chitty, he's in his room reading the Bible, and he tells the audience that his faith is very important to him. He is a Christian, and it really helped him cope with what he experienced in his life. This man right here has encountered a level of suffering and mental turmoil that his partner will never experience. He doesn't have children. Meanwhile, she has two with different fathers that she didn't love, and labels both relationships as toxic. They are in a completely different mental place, in my opinion. If we take a look at Rayne's life, within a couple minutes, it's clear that she made careless life decisions. And I would argue, but by all means, let me know in the comments what you think about this, that this relationship, her involvement in this, is an irresponsible decision. Because as a single mother living on a farm, naturally the smart thing to do would be seek out a partner that can help relieve some of this workload. Chitty seems like a very nice, level-headed person, but he is blind, and I'm assuming we would all prefer to see him not only with someone that's on his level mentally, but someone ready to take up that caretaker role.
Interestingly, I myself, I never knew I was talking to a white lady.
So when they first started talking, she was sending Chitty pictures of what she looked like, and he wasn't responding to the photos. Then she sent him a picture of her butt, and when he didn't respond to that, she was like, hey dude, do you think I'm sexy or not? What's the deal? She's pulling a Mary. Her mind's going to the worst place, thinking, what the frick? Does he not find me attractive? So he had to come clean about being blind. Rayne goes on to say to the audience that knowing Chitty fell for her mind and not her body made her feel truly accepted by him, which is something she's never experienced before. He makes videos for Rayne, telling her how much he loves her and how excited he is to see her. I'm assuming that a friend or family member helps him record these videos, but right away he's putting in that effort. Between the two of them, he 100% is the more realistic one. He was surprised that disclosing his condition brought them closer together. He also hopes to someday marry her, but he doesn't think that she realizes the challenges that come with being in a relationship with him. What a pleasant surprise. This is not a typical dude on the show. He's humbling himself before the Lord, praying that when she's faced with the reality of his impairment, that their love will be strong enough to keep them together. As she's driving to her mom's storage unit, she informs the audience that her mom owns some storage units, some properties, and some rentals. Rayne says she supports her family by selling eggs from her farm and also cleaning out the units, which actually sounds pretty fun to have a private storage wars situation. One of my favorite movies growing up was The Goonies, so I'm always down to treasure hunt. I think that's really cool she can do that. Also a really fun way to earn some extra income. So Rayne walks into her mom's office and greets her mother's friends. She then admits to the audience that her mom and her mom's friends know about Chitty, but they find the entire situation really shocking.
Hello.
Hey, Mom. What's going on? What's going on with you?
Nothing much, just here to clean a unit, and I'm starting to pack and get ready to go.
Rayne tells everyone that she's not nervous at all to go over there to Nigeria and meet Chitty for the first time, and all of her friends are like, bruv, how are you not nervous? You don't know anything about this country and the culture that you're going to. Rayne seems pretty loopy. She says, yeah, you take that big of a chance when you really love someone. Like, I feel so many ties. I'm genuinely curious what she means exactly when she says that. It's really strange.
When he said he was blind, honestly, like everything in me, it just hit me. Like I wanted this guy forever. Like,
So that's the attraction is that he's blind.
Fair question from the mom's friend. Holy shit, this girl is a liability. Rayne's mom looks hella stressed the entire time, and I get it. This is a businesswoman with a daughter in her late 30s that's moving like a love-struck teenager. What does she mean? When someone says that they're blind, the correct response is to beep boop boop bop in your brain and think about all of the challenges that you're going to face in the relationship because of this and process that. Think about if you want to still go through with this, because it's not just you. You also have children.
well, no, it's him. It's everything about him. But ever since I was little, like I always hide, like, you know what I mean? Like hiding behind mom or in the shadows or here and there.
Yeah, you were
so-
very reserved.
Wait, what does that have to do with the previous question? He's gonna need her and be really reliant on her, especially if he makes it all the way to the United States. Not just because of all the immigration process, but also because he's blind. And I think she likes hoarding these different things that she takes care of because she has all these animals. I mean, her entire life is, how many things can I take care of? In doing so, it's like, are you really okay? Because this seems like a lot to manage for one person. Her family and her family friends and everybody is just tiptoeing around her like, oh, she's happy, she's gonna do her thing. Her mom owns properties and rentals and all this. I don't know her financial situation. I don't know how much help she has, but it seems like she just is very impulsive and going through life making irrational decisions, and no one is shoulder checking her. Rayne says to the audience that she was never looking for a blind man, never even thought about it, but she's very self-conscious about the way she looks. Whenever she was intimate with a guy, she would leave a shirt on, turn the lights off. Then she says this.
Him being blind is a huge turn on for me because you don't have to worry about looking at me. I can come out of the shower and he won't see me. Like, I'm gonna be so free. So yeah, that's the way I see it.
Wow, Rayne throwing the selfish vibes out, huh? How does she think that we're gonna react? Oh, we're so happy that his blindness works in your favor.
On your part, what else have you done to really learn about people that are visually impaired so that you're prepared to understand what his needs might be?
That right there is a very good question from Debbie. I'm curious what her answer is going to be because she acts like she's in the honeymoon phase. Meanwhile, she hasn't even met him IRL yet. And Debbie also asked Rayne how she's going to show up for him mentally and emotionally.
We go out, I help him, whatever. If he needs something, I help him. Like, he's very he could wash dishes, he washes his own clothes, he sweeps, he mops. Like, he can help you if you need your potatoes peeled. I mean, he's there to help you in that way, you know what I mean?
Ruh-roh, you guys, we might need to light the beacons because someone needs to warn Chitty. That answer was not the reassurance I was looking for. Peeling potatoes? Come on. She's been talking to this man for 5 years and hasn't done basic research on how to make his life better. Rayne's mom then says to the audience that she's not realistic about the relationship, and if it doesn't work out, she's going to be angry and hurt. The mom kept things really classy, but I can tell right away she's disappointed in her daughter. I haven't seen a male present, so I'm not sure if the father is present or not. Now, on a positive note, the mom's friends are asking the right kinds of questions. They bring up the cultural differences between the United States and Nigeria. And Rayne's mom adds on to that. She brings up that Chitty goes to church regularly, and then this is what her daughter has to say.
Yeah, and when it comes to cultural differences, it's like, it doesn't really matter because, like, we have the same God. The difference is that I am not Christian and he is.
Rayne goes on to say, I believe that there's definitely a higher power, but I don't consider myself Christian. Real quick, notice how she makes everything about herself. We still haven't heard how she's going to improve Chitty's life. Anyway, she goes on to say, because I've seen a lot of the truth that's not mentioned in the Bible. And when she says this, I don't know if she's talking about the book of Enoch or what, but she continues, there's a whole other world and galaxy out there. For example, I know that aliens exist. No shit, Sherlock. The government already confirmed the existence of aliens. This isn't news. Also, the number of galaxies in the universe is estimated to be between hundreds of billions and 2 trillion, but the exact number is unknown. That's what Google says. Rayne goes on to say, UFOs, Illuminati, these are all things that humans need to understand if we have any hope for the future. What is this bird on about? Okay, what exactly do we need to know about secret societies and alien ships? By all means, go into greater detail. You can be a Christian and still believe in aliens, so I'm not sure what her argument is here, what she's trying to get across. The last time I checked, the majority of people in New Mexico believe in aliens, just like here in Nevada, but that doesn't mean there aren't Christians in both places. I'm down to talk about Operation Paperclip or Ancient Aliens. I just struggle to see what the point is that she's trying to make here. Rayne goes on to say, Chitty, people like him keep on living the way they are, believing they are with God when they really are not. I can't believe she just said that. The audacity. How dare you say something that arrogant? Your man found strength in his faith. That's a beautiful thing. Wow, this is a first I'm flabbergasted. Who does she think she is trying to speak for God? You don't know who God is with or isn't. You aren't God. You know what I mean? This has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And to make matters worse, she ends her little rant by saying, I believe I can show Chitty the truth, with a creepy smile on her face. This is so insulting. I'm insulted for Chitty. This is an arrogant fool he's dealing with. I don't care what you believe in, whether you're religious, spiritual, or nothing. It's about respecting your partner's beliefs.
You're gonna have to go to church. You're gonna have to support
That's what you
him.
think, okay? But again, when I'm here to change somebody's life and fully wake them up, that's what I'm gonna do. He could attend church, but eventually this man will be just as woke as I am.
Why would you want to test his faith? Why would you want to challenge it? Why would you want to try and change his way of thinking to yours? That's so manipulative. My wet socks, there's a lot more I want to say about the situation, but I'm going to save it for the next video about this couple, which should be out soon. Let me know in the comments what you think about Chitty and Rayne. Hopefully he doesn't bang bang.